Hi, welcome to our third webinar of 2021. My name is Hannah. I'm the experience coordinator for the Heaps Estrin team, and I'm joined today by Nicola Masterson. Nicola is a professional organizer. She is the founder of Space and the City, which is her professional organizing company. Nicola originally comes from Ireland and is now based in Toronto. And she works alongside her team and they help families through the big and small challenges of what it comes when it comes to organizing your home. So I will leave it to Nicola. She's going to be going through a presentation. We do have a Q&A button. So if you see at the bottom, you'll be able to ask her some questions. I'll be facilitating along the way, and then we'll also do bigger time for questions at the very end. So Nicola, I will leave it to you. Thank you so much. We're so excited to have you.
Oh, thank you so much, Hannah. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. And I know your time here is so precious. So, you know, we're really grateful that you took the time to be here today. My name is Nicola Masterson. I'm a professional organizer and I'm based in Midtown Toronto. And I just wanted to tell you quickly how this whole thing came about for me. I was about 6 years old when my mom got diagnosed with cancer. And we in the home quickly realized that a neat and tidy home was just a special way to make her happy and keep her in a good place, because this was her thing. It just made her so happy. So when the home was like messy and all over the place, she wasn't present. She wasn't like fully being this great mother that she is. So when she was like overwhelmed, and because she was so sick all the time, we really put extra effort in to mind the home. So I've really been organizing since I was a child. And my own personal struggle with clutter was with my closet. Growing up, I had this fabulously fashionable older cousin, a year or two older, and she used to hand her clothes down to me. I used to get these big black bags full of clothes, and I was delighted every time, but they were so gorgeous that we couldn't get rid of them. So we always tried to make them fit. So we went and we bought this big custom closet, the whole size of the wall. I still couldn't fit my clothes in. I had a chair drobe, which is basically a chair mixed as a wardrobe. And I had piles of clothes on top of this. So this meant that number one, my room was messy all the time. And number two, I would rewash clothes from the chair drobe, and I would put them into the washing machine because they were creased. So my mother did not like this one bit. So she was a very clean and organized person. So this was not good for her. So I've been on a lifelong mission trying to discover tips and tricks to help people feel more organized, feel better in their home, feel less overwhelmed, and enjoy quality time with their loved ones in their home. I want everyone I connect with to have more time for what they love to do in their life. And I want everyone here to be empowered to work better, to serve better, to live better, so you can fall in love with your home and fall in love with your life again, basically. So what we do, we have a large team. We go in, pack you up before a move when you're moving. We unpack you and organize you in your new home so that you're ready to take on the world. You have a fresh start in your new home. And when we do move-in jobs, we literally do everything from grocery shops to have champagne chilled in the fridge. So you really are ready for a fresh start when you get there. And we organize literally anything you can think of, from closets to storage units. What can a professional organizer do for you? So you know that feeling when everything is organized, you know, you just feel so good and you feel like you're in control. Well, we can give you that feeling. We can help you let go of things you've been holding on to and help you find a place for absolutely everything in your home. We set you up for success, and we basically just give you a fresh start. So as I mentioned earlier, your time is so precious. So I want you to make sure that this is a good time for you here. So if you are a type A person on the inside, but you struggle to prove it in your home, this is for you. If you have a pristine home most of the time, that 80-20 rule, I think I kind of fall into that. And then if you're a sentimental person and you have trouble letting go of things, I can also fall into that category too. So you're definitely in the right place today if you tick any of those boxes. So what we're going to talk about today, how clutter sneaks into the home, how are we going to fix it, where do we begin? How do we let go? So we're going to cover some emotional roadblocks, and we're going to talk about what to do with the clutter that leaves your home so you don't feel so bad about it. So as we move forward, feel free to put some messages in the chat and we can chat as we go along. There we go. So this is how clutter sneaks into the home. We have gifts that we receive. My love language is gifts. I'm a gift giver, and I feel most loved when I receive a gift as well. That's I don't know if you've read that book about your love language, but that's certainly where I fall in, and I just definitely feel the most love when I receive a gift. So when people give you a gift, they want to give you joy and they want to give you happiness, and they've spent time thinking about a gift that would be special for you. Now, if that gift is sitting in the back of your closet, it's not serving its purpose that the person intended for you. They wanted you to they wanted this gift to bring you joy. And if it's in the back of your closet gathering dust, it's definitely not bringing you joy. So it's probably better to get it out of the home. Heirlooms, they're typically not your style. It's something that we feel obliged to hold on to, but by holding on to it, it doesn't hold on to the value that's in it. So in terms of heirlooms, I would say they're normally something that's highly expensive, and you are not a bad person for, sorry, I keep getting a message there. You're not a bad person for letting them go, for selling them. So also souvenirs are things like, when we go on holidays, we have fridge magnets, we've key rings, we've all sorts of things that we bring home from holidays. So what we do when we go on holidays is we actually invest in a nice piece of art. So, and if we can't find one, then that's fine, we won't get one. But if we love something and it sort of reminds us of the area and it will fit in our home and it's in our style, then that's the souvenir that we will bring home. We have a few magnets on our fridge from Malta. We were in Malta 3 years ago and they drive me crazy. So, it's gone and I have to keep looking at it. So my partner likes them. So you have to compromise in some of these things. Sales, fads, trends, we all jump into the trend, and there's always going to be something that's newer, that's better. I mean, who has the latest phone or the latest Apple Watch? And then, you have it a couple of months and then there's a new one and you feel like, oh, I'm missing all these features. I should get the new one. So it comes with guilt. And just to try not get into try not getting on that thing, and sales as well. Like, if you wouldn't pay for it full price, I wouldn't, don't purchase it. If you're not willing to pay for it full price and you don't love it, because, it can trick you into buying so many things.
So guilty of that.
Pardon?
I'm so guilty of that.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, so many, like the sales especially, I'm actually very guilty of that too. Trends, I'm aware of trends, and I'll wait until I see if the trend sticks before I jump on a trend. But it's just being aware of all of the stuff that we're bringing into our home. And then Amazon Prime, who's guilty of Amazon Prime? My goodness, it's like one click, something is here tonight, there's been times I've ordered something in the morning or at nighttime and it's been there in the morning, and it's insane. But the trick with Amazon for me is, would I get into my car, drive to the store, take cash out of my pocket and pay for the exact same thing. Because with Amazon Prime, it's just like, they know your interests and they show you things that you have are interested in. So it's just so easy to maybe add something onto your cart that you didn't intend on buying because it was like a great deal. And then other clutter in the home is other people's stuff. So, you know, there's no getting away from it. Other people's stuff, it could be kids' toys, pets' toys, our, you know, our partner's hobbies, our partner's books. And, you know, where I get caught up in other people's stuff is I have a tendency to clean other people's stuff before I'll clean mine. So I'll put other people's stuff away before I will put my stuff away. And then I've sort of ran out of energy before it comes to putting my stuff away. So I think start focusing on putting your own stuff away first, and then other people can have their own guilt for their own stuff. That's something that definitely works for me anyway. So we have, what does it look like? How do we know if we have clutter? Clutter comes in so many forms, and it's so easy to, you know, leave a cup on the counter, leave a book over on the table, and it's just daily life and it just accumulates. So trying to understand where your clutter hotspots are, like where do you leave the mail? Maybe there's a pile of mail somewhere. So trying to figure out systems. The entryway, it's so important to keep the entryway tidy so that you feel so good when you come home. And with drawers, you want your drawers to be neat and tidy on the inside. You want to fold everything, keep it very neat so that you can close drawers and open drawers easily. You're just going to feel so much more organized. There's nothing worse than closing a drawer and it's just stuffed with, you know, maybe I can see in this picture here, there's jeans, and it's, you know, and then it looks visually horrible when you're looking at it. You just feel so bad about yourself. So you just pull out the ones you're not wearing, fold them neatly, and you're just going to feel like such an organized person. You're just going to feel so much more in control, because it has ripple effects. Like when you're looking at this clutter, and it just subconsciously, it makes you feel, you know, it just makes you feel a certain way, and that ripples onto your next task, because already you have you know, that sort of lower feeling, and that's just going to ripple onto the next thing you do. And if the next area is cluttered, that you're trying to like pull a sweater out and you can't because they all topple out as well, you're going to feel bad again. So it's just going to continue on and on and on. So it's very important to keep your home tidy in that sense.
Nicola, do you have any suggestions when it comes to what part of the house you should tackle first? Is it common spaces, or I know if my bedroom's neat and tidy, then I'm a little bit more inclined to then tackle the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Do you have any advice when it comes to where to start in the house?
Yeah, so actually, I was going to go on to that in a couple of more slides. But what I would say is start where what do the visitors see? Or, you know, where do you spend most of your time? So those two things. So it's either for visitors is not going to happen probably this year, but where do you spend most of your time? If you spend most of your time and you're in quarantine and you sit on the couch all day and that's sort of your day, I would focus on the living room. Make sure it's perfect, make sure it's pristine, and nothing in it is making you feel like everything in it is making you feel joy. Everything is making you feel special. Everything puts a smile on your face. So that's sort of where I'd start. And then your kitchen countertops, you want to be able to cook easily. You want elbow room. You don't want to be reaching for Uber Eats every night because you just couldn't be bothered cleaning the kitchen. So it's so important to keep your countertops clean in the kitchen, and your floor, of course. You know, I know there's kids' toys, pets' toys, shoes. You know, things just end up on the floor. We don't mean for it to happen, but it does gather things. So definitely, I would start with the floor is definitely something you have to keep clean for sure when you can.
Yeah, we do have a question from
Yeah.
someone who is actually talking about kids and big families. So she's asking, what is the number one tip that you would give to homeowners with kids and big families to make that organization as easy as possible?
Yeah, kids and big families, my goodness. So I just contain everything. Try and categorize things as best you can in different containers, but just get large baskets. And if you need to keep them in the living room, is there a place behind the couch? Is there cabinets? I organized a home for someone, and they just wanted the playroom in the living room, but they also entertain in the living room. So we used the cabinets that would normally be used for, say, dishes, and we put the toys in there. So they were very easy to put into a basket, put them away when someone came over. So that's what I would do. Yeah, just to get nice, pretty baskets, and if you can get furniture to hide them in, that would be ideal.
Awesome.
Yeah. So why is this important? Why should we care? So life happens. It's just everyday life, and it does come with clutter. Even for me as an organizer, it comes with clutter. I have clutter. It's clutter is just things, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. We just have to figure out what works for us. Life is so much better without clutter. Trust me. Like, the difference is night and day. On a scale of 1 to 10, how does everyone feel here today, that in terms of being organized? Do you feel like you're on top of things, or you're not on top of things? So just pop a number in the chat there and let us know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so important, and we really should care, and we really should put the effort in, because you could have better relationships. And I say this, I know this. Clutter, it really affects everybody in the house, whether it's yours or someone else's or a mix of everybody's. It really does affect everyone. So, I mean, just for a small example with relationships, I have a tendency, I can clean the kitchen from top to bottom, and I will leave a trash bag at the door for my partner to bring out and put in the trash outside, or whatever he does. And for me, I'm after cleaning the whole kitchen. My job is done here. I'm the best. And that little thing is all he has to do. But if you turn it around and look at, he's coming home from work, he's after having a very stressful day, and the first thing he sees, he's looking forward to coming in and putting his feet up. The first thing he sees is a to do. I have to do something. I can't put my feet up. I have to bring my stuff in, drop it off, go back, and then put do my task, bring the trash out to the trash can, or whatever he has to do. So it has a ripple effect on everyone, because everyone has it to do. So it's just a very important thing to consider everyone else in the home and their feelings and where they're coming from. And if you tackle all of these things, you're going to have more energy. So it's less stress, less tasks, and a home that flows. And all of this is more energy. Less tasks, less things to pick up off the counter and dust down, less stress. It's a mood shifter, stress, a subconscious mood shifter. You don't even know it. So if you can manage all of this, you're going to have more energy. You're just going to be more vivacious, and you're going to be happy. And subconsciously, this is all subconscious. Like, we don't even know. It causes us to be so happy and so energetic. How do we fix it? So who we are is who we've become. We've learned to process stuff in a certain way, and we can unlearn that by changing our habits. I'm going to walk you through some of the habits that my mother used to instill in us, because that's how I learned everything really that I know. And she was not an organizer. She was just a very neat and tidy person. So she would, when we would go into a room, when we'd be leaving a room, she would scan the room and she'd say, "Where are you going?" And we'd say, "We're going to the bedroom." So she'd scan the room and she'd say, "Okay, well, bring this with you, bring that with you, and bring this with you, like your shoes, your magazine, whatever is laying around." And we have to come back in and pick up all our stuff. So this is a really good trick to get to do for your kids or whoever. And then as well, when you're walking past one room and you're going to another room, always scan the room for something that you can bring to the next room to keep on top of things. Tea and tidy time is something that myself and my brother used to do. So, you know, when we were young, my mom was sick, but all our lives really, my mum was sick. She just kept getting cancer. So we always had to do this. So tea and tidy time, we drank a lot of tea. We're Irish. We drank a lot of tea. So boil the kettle. The kettle takes maybe 8 minutes to boil. We put the tea bag in. That takes 4 minutes to make your tea, to brew your tea. And in that time, it's always a trigger. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to tidy while we're waiting for the tea, and then we can sit down and relax? Yes. So the kettle goes on. We do a speed clean. Like, we are like lightning, run around, put things away. And when the kettle is done and the tea is ready, then we sit down. Now, more often than not, we didn't sit down. We just got into it, got motivated, and kept going. But it was fun, you know. It was just a really fun way of keeping on top of things. It took 4 minutes, and we probably got an hour's work done in that time. And then another thing is, at nighttime, we, even here today, we say, do you want to do a quick reset? And that's like our just trigger word. Do you want to reset the house back to our high standard, whatever that is? It's different for everyone, whatever your standard is that you want to wake up to in the morning. So we do a quick reset at night, and then in the morning we always come in and everything is like where it should be. So it always makes, you know, it's when we don't do that, we notice the difference, and we're like, oh, I should have done that last night. You know, these things do take energy, but you have to commit to them. So, and my mother's famous quote was, never put anything off until tomorrow if you can do it today. So, you know, if there's something that you can do today and you have the energy and you're healthy enough to do it today, and never put anything off until tomorrow. That's one of my favorite quotes my mom used to say. So you have to tell yourself, it's about who you are. You live in a pristine home with no clutter, and that's just who you are. You're a person with high standards. And if you are a person with high standards, then you're going to be in an organized home. You're going to be in a clean home, and you're going to put the effort in, because that's in your DNA. And in order to do that, you just have to decide to take control. And you have to delegate to other people. You can't be putting all this pressure on yourself. And there's higher help, guys. It's so easy to just press a button and have someone come in and do this all for you. There's no reason in this day and age that we can't do that. And then just don't procrastinate about the small things, because they do all accumulate and make a very big impact. It's the small things that add up. And it is the small things that, you know, cause clutter at the end of the day. So where do I start? You were asking me this earlier, Hannah. You know, well, we have our priority spaces that we go into every day. We have our living space, our kitchen, our bedroom, our bathroom. They're the spaces that we hang out in, we go into all day long. So that's definitely where you start. And then what I say is, you start in the center of the room. So that's the floor, the coffee table, and you work out, because you're starting from a visitor who's going to come in. The visitor is you, or it's a visitor, you know? So what's the first thing the person sees when they come in the front door? So it's the visual. So you start in the middle and you clear that. And then you go to the counters, the tables, and you clear that. So try and have everything, the counters clear, because it's kind of important. Have the counters clear, only have things on it that you really, really love and that do make you happy and bring you joy. It's also less work, less things to clean up, less things to pick up and clean up. And it's just so nice when you look at something and it makes you smile because you love it and you're not distracted by all of the things. My mother she had like a little altar, and she used to have all of these like figurines, like we were, you know, very religious, and she used to have crosses and oh my gosh, she'd have about 20 of them in this little thing. So every time we had to like clean this, it was like we had to like, pick up 20 things, dust it, dust every little thing as well, and put them all back. So this was like, you know, it's not fun. So it kind of takes I mean, you're meant to look at something and just love it instead of looking at it and going, oh, I have to clean this, and you end up putting it off, and it just gives you negative vibes. So so this is a big one here, guys. Let us know if there's anything here, emotional roadblocks that you can resonate with, because I think we all struggle with this. You know, and you know, you're dealing with emotions here, you're dealing with things, you're dealing with objects. You know, and we need to figure out how to detach from objects, how to not have a codependent relationship with things, because they're only things. You know, money, and what if I get rid of it and I never see it again, and it takes so much time and energy. I hear this all the time. Money, I hear it all the time from my clients. I've spent a fortune on it. How could I possibly let go of it? Like I've spent, you know, whatever, maybe they have a sweater there, it was $300 or $400 or more. I mean, God, you could pay anything for anything these days. And they've never worn it. The tags are still on, and they're just saying, I couldn't possibly get rid of it. But you know, you've spent the money. The money is gone. It's not money anymore. It's the sweater. And there's no value to it. If you try and sell it, you're not going to get your money back. You'll get a portion of it back. It's just not the same. But it's taking up valuable real estate in your closet. You're paying a mortgage for that item in your closet. A portion of your mortgage pays for your closet. And you know, it's costing you money to stay there, and there's no room for the rest of your sweaters to breathe. So I would just say, instead of looking at it and feeling guilty about it every time you look at it, it has to go, and go to a good home. And if that means selling it, sell it. I'm not down for selling things normally. I'm just down for, you know, giving it to someone else who will appreciate it. And what if I need it again? So this could, you know, this could go for anything. I have 2 wooden spoons. Why do I need 2 wooden spoons? I'll get rid of one. I'm decluttering. I'm making soup and something else. Okay, I need another wooden spoon. Oh, I got rid of my other one last week. What am I going to do? You use another tool. It's no big deal. Use something similar. Or you order another one on Amazon Prime and you have it tomorrow. It's not a big deal. If if you're not sure about something, everything is so easily replaced these days that it's just not worth holding on to something and having clutter in your home for maybe 5 years, waiting for a time to use it again. So that's what I say about getting rid of things that you think you may need again. And then, you know, it takes so much time and energy. That's a big obstacle in, you know, a big emotional roadblock, where you can just sit down and say, you know what, that's a lot of work. I'm not really into doing that today. And you keep putting it off, and it gets bigger and it gets worse. And, you know, the best thing to do is just tackle it, put it in your calendar, and, you know, get it done. And it's okay to just declutter. Like, you don't have to go and organize. It's okay to just pull things out and get things out of your home. It's all about conserving energy and, you know, starting with what the visitor sees, basically, and working your way out from there. That's how you conserve energy.
Do you have a time frame? So I'm just thinking about myself when I'm going through all my stuff and I'm decluttering, and especially my closet. In my rule for myself is that I always say, if I haven't worn it in a year, so if I have a sweater and I didn't wear it last winter, it's time for it to go. Do you think a year is the right time? Like, do you have a good timeline for those types of things?
I mean, some people say 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely different for everyone, and it does depend on many factors. I think you just know when the time is right. I don't think you have to wait for a year. I think you should just say right away, this is not me. I'm not going to wear it this year, next year, the next 5 years. Or for me, like, when I look at something and I have to say personally, will I wear this for 30 times?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say. Will I wear this 30 times? Or is this something I'm going to wear once or twice? And if it's once or twice and it's sitting in my closet for the rest of my life, it's definitely not worth it. So yeah, so they're kind of the questions. I think I have questions coming up actually that we can cover. Let me see. maybe not. But yeah, some people say 6 months, and then there's the hanger trick, where if you've you know, if you put all the clothes hanging in one way with the hook all hanging one way, and then when you take something out, you turn the hook the other way and put it in, and then you can tell. I mean, I know in quarantine we're all wearing, I mean, we're wearing the same 3 things over and over and over again, so
Yeah.
it's different. But use quarantine time, we've changed. Like, I don't wear heels anymore. I probably wore heels before quarantine. I can't see myself ever wearing heels again. There's just something about this whole time that's changed. I think we're all going to be different people at the end of this. So it's great time to look around and see, you know, what's working, what's serving me, what's getting in my way, what's holding me back, what's causing me negative emotions. You know, that's time for a fresh start. Sometimes just clearing everything out and having a fresh start is just amazing. So these are some of the questions. So decide what stays and what to move along. So do I love it? Does it make me feel happy? Am I happy to continue paying a mortgage for this item to live here? So like, you know, maybe a mortgage is, your closet is probably 5% of your mortgage. I would say, like, if you fraction out 5% of your, if you put your map, your outline of your home down, I'd say 5% of your home is your closet, and you're paying 5% of your mortgage for everything that's in there. So this is just something to be aware of. You know, would I purchase it today? This is a really good question to ask. If you're decluttering and you pull things out and you're wondering what to do, if it should stay or not, would you pull cash out of your pocket today and hand over the same money for it today? And then would you wear it multiple times in the next few months or not? And it's very important that things fit comfortably, especially today. I think we'd all be left with sweatpants now if we went in with a really good decluttering this time with the quarantine and everything. But so is it comfortable? And does it fit comfortably in the space that I have assigned for it? So that's back to what I was telling you about the drawers, that we have a tendency to stuff things in because we don't have room for it. So let's say I've assigned drawers for my pajamas, and I have, you know, too many pajamas in the drawer that I've assigned. So what do? Do we, you know, take out pajamas and make sure it stays in this drawer? So we maybe have to remove 4 pajama sets to make it comfortably fit, you know, with breathing room, and just for it to look organized and look neat, that you can open and close your drawer, and then you can, like, you know, shimmy through and nothing gets lost, or not everything gets worn in rotation. And then do you, like, so you have to open and close the drawer, and you know, you have to do it gracefully. You have to be able to open and close your door without having to, like, jam it shut. And if that's not the case, then we need to find a new home for your pajamas. Maybe you need a bigger place to put them. Maybe it's a bigger drawer. Maybe it's, you know, somewhere different. So you either downsize or you change the space that you have assigned for it. And then if you need it, I think we covered that already. If we need it in a few months, like maybe we threw out our warm pajamas and winter is coming, and, you know, is it easily replaced? Yes, very easily replaced. So they're good questions to ask. And is it worth holding on to it for the next year? Maybe your winter pajamas are worn. Winter is 12 months away. My closet won't, you know, my drawer won't close. I don't love them anyway. Maybe I'll just let them go. And when it, you know, winter comes around next year, I'll just replace them. Okay, so how to declutter without decluttering. These are more tips and tricks. So putting junk mail in their site, so you deal with your junk mail the minute it comes in the door. So assign a station to deal with these things the minute they come in the door. So the junk mail goes into recycling. Can you go paperless? You know, pay a bill right away. You know, open the envelope, file it away if it needs to just to be filed away. So these are all little tips and tricks just to keep on top of things. Use up all your free beauty counter samples. You know, when you buy something and they give you some free, I'm so sorry. So they give you some freebies. So use them up. They're all going to go off if we haven't used all these things. And maybe we have some special shampoo that we have that we're saving for a special occasion, or whatever. All this mascara lasts 6 months. Like, everything has a sell by date, so just use everything. And if you're not using it, like, it needs to go. But so I would say use them up. Use up all your fancy creams. Like, I have some amazing, like, expensive face creams that I haven't been using, and I can smell that they're actually starting to go off. So I've said I have to use up all of this stuff now. I'm just going to start using them every night, because I've been saving them for a special occasion because they're so expensive. But now I'm like, no, I have to use them, otherwise they're wasted and they're gone. They're going to go off anyway. And another trick now for your closet: tie a ribbon or a scarf around the pole on the, say, the left hand side, and every time you take an item out and you wear it and you hang it back in your closet, just put it to your left of the scarf. Okay, so everything on the scarf on this side hasn't been worn, and everything on the scarf on this side, your 3 items for the next year, are, yeah, so that's actually a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really, really good way of knowing what you're wearing and knowing exactly what you're not wearing and knowing what not to purchase. And sometimes we have a tendency to purchase several things, of like maybe a white t-shirt with several white t-shirts. So it's a really good way of knowing what you wear, what your style is, and figuring yourself out by doing that. And then force yourself to wear the clothes on the right. Force yourself. I mean, I know, again, it's quarantine, but you can still dress well and look good at home, because it will make you feel a lot better. But it also will help you get rid of things, because you'll wear the thing and you'll realize that it's not comfortable. It didn't really fit you anyway. You probably put on a few pounds over quarantine. So, it's a really good, it's another really good trick. Just force yourself to wear the clothes and realize why you don't wear them or like them. And then the one touch trick, how to declutter without decluttering, is when you this could be for anything, but if you're doing the dishes and you're taking the dishes out of the dishwasher, some people can put it on the counter and then get distracted and do something else. Instead of putting it in, taking the dish out, like the cup, take the cup out of the dishwasher and put it where the cups go. One touch. And the same with laundry. When the laundry comes out of comes out of the washing machine or the dryer, hang it or fold it or do whatever you have to do and put it straight in your closet. Don't put it on your bed, don't put it on the sofa, like just put it straight where it's meant to go. Don't have a stop off, rest anywhere. Just keep going, power through. So and then using stolen tea time, like when you're watching Netflix, you can fold your sock, you can tackle your sock drawer, you can match them up, and you can do your laundry while you're watching Netflix, or and then using my stolen time, like with the making tea, to do your speed clean. And it's the same with using the microwave or the oven or the dishwasher or the washing machine. There's so many triggers that you can use to just to keep on top of things.
I've been listening to podcasts while I do my cleaning too, so that's a great way to kill some time.
That's it. And I love doing that too. Like, how can you be more productive? How can you learn more while you're doing these mundane tasks? Because there's so much out there, there's so much information out there that it's like you can feel a bit overwhelmed. Like, how are you going to keep on top of everything? But I do that too sometimes too. And you feel so much better. You can read your books on audio too. It's fantastic. The world is great. And then what to do with stuff you move along. So you've got your heirlooms and valuables. First of all, don't feel bad about letting things go. Like, just make sure that things live somewhere else in a happy home and that they're making someone else happy. Like, that's so much more important, because heirlooms and things that are left to you were left to you to make you happy. So I think it's important that sentiment is carried through. And if you have to sell it, sell it. If it's definitely high value, put the time and effort in that if it's a good payback, it's definitely worth it to sell it. But donating things like that to charities is always a really good idea. And then, just for an example, for old suits, I love Dress for Success. I love helping people out who are looking for an interview. to look sharp for an interview, so that they have, you know, they're full of confidence and they've got these amazing suits that maybe they couldn't afford to buy. And this is also when you're asking these questions and you're going through your closet and you're thinking, you know, I've this, you know, this fabulous suit, I'm never going to wear it again. You know, some people wear suits for interviews and you just know as you get older you don't need a suit again. So it's, you know, that's really good, you know, it's good, they're good questions to ask when you're decluttering. Can someone else get more use out of this? Can someone get a job out of this? Rather than it just sitting in my closet doing nothing. And then for old blankets and things like that, you can donate them to your little doggy shelter, your local dog shelter, that and you can give the dogs a warm and cozy bed at night. So that is it.
Actually, so to tie along with that, we have got a spring cleaning event that we've began organizing. So it's going to be towards the end of April. Just so for everyone listening, so they have a heads up. But we are going to be partnering with some great organizations. So like you said, donating to charities. Dixon Hall is an organization that we love and that we're partnering with, as well as Diabetes Canada and Habitat for Humanity. And we also have a great organization called Books for Families. So if you have children, maybe they're a little bit older now, maybe you have all these books lying around that you don't need anymore, this is a really great opportunity to come and declutter and take all these tips and tricks that you've shared and put them into action. So we'll have more information on that coming soon. But
amazing. Yeah, that's a great, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that wraps everything up. Thank you so much. And just, you know, another thing as well, once you're on top of your decluttering, just to make sure that you're keeping on top of your maintenance, that it's, you know, when you're purchasing, that it's one in, one out. When you bring something into the home, that you're getting rid of something or a few things, and to develop better shopping habits as you go as well. I think it's just so important. Yeah, but that being said, thank you so much. If you're struggling with any of this, don't be afraid to reach out. You know, I can only be here for you if you tell me what you need. So there is help out there.
We have another question about, do you have any tips for engaging the kids to help keep themselves organized?
I find when the kids are, or like when you organize the kids, they tend to keep up with it. You know, sometimes I guess it's easy when I go into a home, I've done the organizing and they get excited and they maintain it because it was a whole big event. But I think as well, for bins, you know, even if the kids are young, you can have a picture in the front of it for what goes into it, and you can start like, and it can be exciting for them to say, oh, this is a car and there's a picture of a car, we put this in the bin. So you know, it's just a matter of being organized and showing them that this goes here, and they should, like monkey see monkey do, they'll follow your habits. If you are organized, they will be organized. Like my mom, we were, and it stayed with us. So you know, I think it's just a matter of like creating these habits, whatever they are. Some of the tricks that I shared with you today about getting them, asking them to do it. And, you know, every time they leave a room, just say, well, bring your toys with you, bring that toy, and be specific, bring, you know, this toy, that toy with you, and put it specifically in the bin that we have assigned for it.
And so for some of our clients who may be moving soon, who maybe have just bought a house or sold their house, and they're looking and getting all of their stuff out, do you have any suggestions on where to start? I know, I mean, moving is a very different task than organizing.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God, if you know you're moving in 6 months or next year, start decluttering now. Start getting harsh with everything. You're going to move to a whole new start. You want everything to be fresh and new. You know, you don't want to be bringing any baggage with you. You don't want to be bringing any old memories or if you don't know what to do with it in this house, you're not going to know what to do with it in the next house. And, you know, all those some people move a lot and they have a lot of unopened boxes from all of their moves that they've never opened. And sometimes I have to sit down and deal with these boxes with this person, you know, these people, you know, one time, and figure out what are we going to do with it. A lot of them are memories, a lot of them are stuff that they just don't use. But don't carry these same boxes with you. Like, just recognize that you've carried these boxes with you, or they've not been open for several years. Like, you have to take action on them. You have to, because they just, they're on the back of your mind. They're subconsciously, they're there. They're like another to-do list, another thing on your to-do list that something you need to deal with. So I would say just tackle them, take every single thing out, deal with it, and find a home for it or get rid of it. But yeah, definitely if you're 6 or 8 months out from a move, that's a really good time to start go doing a heavy declutter and just keep the momentum going for the whole time until the move. Just declutter something every day, or a lot of things every day even.
Mhm. And so when you have clients who've hired you to help them with moves, because that's something we were chatting before that you said that you do, um, is that something that they'll bring you in a couple months before, or will you help them the day of, or what do you typically do in that sense?
It depends. Like if the home is massive and they've been living in it all their lives, that will take maybe several trips where we can come in on several occasions. It's never too early to get an organizer in, even just for the decluttering phase. I wouldn't recommend organizing anything in your home you're living in if you're about to move, because it won't be the same when you move. But definitely for decluttering, it can be so valuable because you're just carrying this clutter with you, and it's more work for the movers. It's more work on moving day. It's an extra moving van probably, or two or three, God knows. And it's more unpacking that you have to do on this end, and you want everything to be seamless, and you just want to. It's a stressful thing moving, so you just want it to go seamlessly and not to have to worry. You want to say, okay, everything in this house I'm taking with me because I love it so much.
Amazing. Okay, well, I think that's it. We've answered all of our questions. Thank you so much for joining us today.